Fellow builders of booths, welcome to this next episode, and welcome to the others who are just interested. In this episode, you will find me fitting resilient bars, or otherwise known as soundbreaker bars, to the walls of my booth. Also, I will be fitting my first ever piece of plasterboard, soundproof plasterboard. Now that is something to behold. So please enter my domain and enjoy and learn. Okay, so if you have a look here, you can see that I've already started putting on what's called the soundbreaker bars. And these are the bars which I will screw the plasterboard into, which is the same stuff as what I got here on the ceiling. It's a special soundproof barrier layer which I bought. I'll go into more details about that later. But basically now I'm fitting these. I just wanted to show you how I'm fitting these. I'm basically doing 450 centres, 450mm centres between each one, and I've put 3 on already. I'm going to put another one on here, but before I do that I'm just going to put one down here because it's not exactly symmetrical. So I want to put one on the bottom where I want it, and then I'll do the centrepiece in there. And you might be asking, well, why bother putting another piece in there? Well, because it's an extra support, and in case I fall into the wall, I'm not going to break the plasterboard in half. Not that I'm going to be fooling around much, but you never know. So I just want to show you how simple it is to actually get this on. So I've bought some 35mm plasterboard screws, which I use to screw this on, and I use the same screws as well to fix the plasterboard on. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a bit of a problem here because I don't have anything to screw into there. Now if you look on this piece, for example, I put a nice big long piece of wood down there for this exact reason, but on this piece I didn't do that, so now I have to fit one. But I'm not going to fit a whole piece. You can see here that I've just added extra little bits of stud which I've just screwed into there, so I'm going to have to do the same thing on here as well. So I'm just going to basically get a piece of offcut like this, and I'm just going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to screw it to there, and I might as well do the same for the piece I'm going to put in the middle as well. So I'll have to put a couple of pieces here, and then I can screw this on. So I'm going to do that, and then when I've done it, we'll come back and continue from there. Okay, here I have 75mm long M4 4mm screws.
We've lost visual, Commander.
put the next piece pretty much in the center like that. So I now have to put another couple of pieces in there as well. Okay, good. So I'm now going to fit this soundbreaker bar in the middle, in between the two. I'm not going to measure it, I'm just going to guess the middle. It's going to be about there somewhere. But as you can see, I've got nothing to bolt into here. So I'm going to need to fit another couple of blocks like this, just there. So I'm going to do that now. And I think it's a good idea to do this because you don't need to waste a whole load of wood like I did here. And here. So I guess that might not be a waste actually, because I still have to put that side on. Anyway, if you didn't do it by mistake, then this is the way to kind of fix that mistake. So I set around about in the middle, so it'd be about here. So I just need to cut this big enough for 2 blocks. Get another block on there, like so. Cut that down there like that. Across under there, and then I should be able to just take these out. Comes out like that. Now this one I don't think I've cut big enough, so I'm just going to put down there. And now this should all come out as well. Just like that, and then I can fit this piece in here. Foam out as necessary. Can tidy that up later. And then just punch that in there like that. Give it a knock with a hammer, just because I like using hammers. Good. And then I'm going to drill some pilot holes just to fix it in place. So that the screws don't split the wood. So I'm going to drill here and right down here. Fantastic. And then I have a 75mm wood screw, which is 4mm wide, 75mm long. Screw that in there. Good. Just that one, and then I'm just going to fit this one as well. Same idea. Drill a couple of pilots so the wood doesn't split. Try to avoid the screw where I screwed in into here, so I think this will be fine. And then screw that in to position. that. Yeah, that's okay. Screws are on there. This is long. Okay, good. So that's now in position. So now I can fit the breaker bar. Let's get a few more screws, I think. Let's see. 4 screws there. Add a few more. Alright, so like I said, just round about the middle, which I think that'll be fine. Like this. Try and make it square. I mean, you could always make it perhaps. That's not long enough. But that looks about right. And I should check it because when I go to screw in through the plasterboard, obviously I need it to be like straight, otherwise I'm not going to catch it with my screws. So, say 400 from there. That's like 400 into the middle. So we can go a little bit. And that's pretty much it. You've got quite a wide space there to drill into, so it doesn't have to be majorly accurate to the millimetre. But you want to try and keep it as accurate as you can. And then just get your fixing screws in like that, and then it's in position. So now it's just a case of putting the rest in. Now you can always just double check, make sure it's 400 centre to centre. It's pretty good there. 400 there, pretty much. 400 centre there. 400 there, so that's pretty square now, so that's fine. And then in we go. On this side, try and put as many screws as I can into it because it's going to be carrying quite a heavy load. So the screws are going to be sharing quite a lot of weight. I angled that one a little bit. Okay. Fine. Alright, so there we go. We've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sound breaker bars, which means I'm now ready to fit the soundproof plasterboard on there. Now, just to be clear, it's not just soundproof plasterboard. If it was, I would just screw it directly onto the wood probably, but it's special plasterboard, which you can see up here. It's got a layer of rubber, foam and rubber. So there's an extra 10mm worth of soundproofing on there with 5mm of foam in the middle, and on the outside edges you got 2 layers of 2.5mm high density rubber, which also acts as a soundproof, and then this is soundproof plasterboard as well. So that's going to be going on the wall, and now I can basically put it in place, screw it on, and it bolts into that, it screws into that there. So I do that on this wall, I do it on this wall, I do it on that wall, and then I do it on the door when I eventually get the wall, when I eventually get the door in. I haven't actually designed that bit yet, but not to worry, I've got the gap, that's all I need. Okay, that's it for now. So when I get to put the plasterboard on, we'll do another video. I'll see you then. Okay, so today I'm going to be fitting my plasterboard. So it's very simple. you're just basically going to get my 35mm screws, and I'm going to screw into the plasterboard and then into the sound breaker bar, straight through. Now I just need to measure the holes where I'm going to put them, and then all the way along. I very simply did that by taking a piece of wood like this and then making a mark on this wood in the middle there, in the middle there, and in the middle there. And then close to the edge of the board I did a cross here, across there, across there. That's the first set. And then 200mm away I did the same again. And then 200mm away, same again, there, there and there. And then I did that all the way along the board. So that means I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws going across 3 rows, which is obviously going to be 18 screws. So I'm now going to put the first one in. I'm just using this as a support. Now, one thing I wanted to say is that on this edge here, it's not exactly square. We've got about a 5mm gap at the bottom, and I'm thinking, you know, is that okay? Is it not okay? Well, I think it's okay, because on this back wall is going to be another plasterboard, so that's actually going to be covered. But when I fit this board, that is going to have to be square. But what I can do anyway is, when I've got this fitted, I can put some foam, I can squeeze some foam in there just to add some extra soundproofing. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that this is as far up to there as possible. That's as good a fit as it's going to get. So I'm going to put my first screw in now. Simple as that. And these are actually plasterboard screws. There is a little bit of a difference between this and a wood screw, so I do suggest that you buy plasterboard screws. They have a wider head, so I guess it distributes the load a little bit more, and it also keeps it in place. I'm going to try and keep the screws as flush to the surface as I can. Simple. Alright, so here it is. This is the board on the wall. It's been screwed down onto the resilient bars, otherwise known as the soundbreaker bars, and you can also see that there is an air gap created. Now this also adds to the soundproofing of the booth. Very important to have that. I got it. Finally, I'd like to dedicate this video to my #1 fan, Tinyoka Ngabeni. I hope you liked it. This one's for you.